Hi guys, and welcome back to the 2023 summer evening routine. So I get to the stables. There's no particular time that I get to stables in the evening. As you can see, the horses are stood around waiting for their dinner, but I can get there any time from 4:30 till like 8. But if I'm working and I don't finish till 10, then I won't get there until about 10:15 to do them. But because I do everything in the morning, there isn't that much to do in the evening. So I come into Dan's stable, see what the mess is like, because the horses always like to make the mess in his stable. But as you can see, there's only one poo and Dawn's poo as well. But I like to go down into Dawn's stable to make sure that she hasn't made a mess, even though she never does. But you just never know. So I get the poop scoop, I take out the poo in Danny's stable. If you saw where I just showed Mittens, there was actually no poo or wee in her stable. I also like to take out the wee in the mornings because over an evening, well, like during the day, they don't really wee in there. But I think over the evening, obviously they come in at night or something. In the morning, there's so much wee. So I take out the wee and poo first thing in the morning, which you guys have seen in the morning routine. And then come evening, I only take out the poo because there is never normally wee there. So that's basically my routine. The horses are strange. Some days I can come up and there's loads of poos in the stables with all three of them, and then other days I can come up and there's no poos in the stable. So it just really varies really, but this particular day it was nice and easy and there was only 2 poos. So then I go obviously take it to the mucky, which is like a massive mound, and then the horses normally like to poo out on like the top of the grass, but they didn't this particular day, which was good. So that's the stable all nice and clean, and it was a Saturday, and every Saturday we go to Mole Valley and get new bedding. So this is me obviously opening it up, giving them nice fresh bedding. They get bedding every single week. I like to give them a bed during summer as well, because our horses have the option to come in and out 24/7. I just like them to come in because every morning when I come up, Dan's always laid down, and they do have rubber matting, so it wouldn't be the end of the world, but I just like them to have their bedding. There you guys see Mittens' stable's been left how I done it in the morning, which is good. I filled up their water, and then it was time to get their food bowl. So you would have seen in my morning routine that I filled up the buckets with water, and then I just leave them for the day. Obviously there was more water in Danny and Mittens', but they've both got holes in them, so it's come out. But Dawn's doesn't have a hole in them, so it looks very yucky, that water. But I chuck them out, and then we go up into the hay barn, which is basically where all of the food bins are, which is very awkward filming with one-handed, so I do apologise, guys. But going on to the horses' food, this is going to sound very confusing, and I'm going to try and explain it the best I can. So here, this is Danny's food bin. So I'm actually going to do a vlog on what I feed the horses. But they're basically fed on pure feeds, but they're on 2 different types of pure feeds. So normally Danny would have one big full scoop of that, but this particular day I was changing his food onto the other pure feed, so I wasn't giving him so much. But you guys are meant to transition, like slowly change the food, mix it with their original food, because if you just automatically change it, it can cause colic and all sorts. So yeah, just a little tip, guys, if you're changing your horse's food, always make sure that you put only a little bit of the new one in for a few days, and then put in the full amount that you would normally feed, just so it doesn't cause any problems. We then go into the other bin, which is pure feeds again. It's just a different type of pure feeds. Now, normally Dawn and Mittens are on this food. Danny doesn't normally have this, but we're changing him onto this food. So here, I think I'm going to do Dawn's. Yeah, so Dawn and Mittens are still on this, but they are going to be changed onto something else, which you guys will see in a minute. But as I just mentioned, we like to do it gradually. So they were still having the same, just not as much as normal. And then Danny has a bit more than what Mittens and Dawn would normally have to mix it in, and I would do this for a couple of days, just gradually, and each day give him a little bit more of the new food, and then eventually I'll take him off of his original food, and then he'll just be on a full scoop of the new. It was just the day that I decided to film that I had to do it gradually. So sorry, this is really confusing, guys. So this is the new food that the vet advised us to get Mittens, because obviously she's very fat and we need her to lose weight. So again, I'm not giving her too much of that because this is her first night having it. And the same for Dawny. Dawny, the vet didn't tell us that she was fat or anything like that, but we thought it won't hurt her to go on that. And then Mittens and Dawn are going on another food as well, which the vet advised us to put together. So we give them again only a little bit, not too much, because it's gradual. And then after a few days of mixing it all in with their original pure feeds, we'll take them both off of the pure feeds and they'll just be on the 2 new foods, if that makes sense. Although Dawn decides that she doesn't like the 2 new foods, so she's now on what Danny's on. So sorry guys, it's very, very confusing, but yeah, just a little tip. Always make sure your horses, if you're changing the food, it is gradual. So here, this is the difference between the morning routine and the evening routine. In the evening, all of the horses have their supplements. So this is the NAF respiratory supplement, which just goes in Danny's food, which he has only through the summer when it's pollen, because he is actually allergic to pollen. God, I can't get my words out. And then the next is the glucosamine omega supplement, which they are all on. So Danny's on it basically for prevention. It's a joint supplement, and then Mittens and Dawn are on it because Dawn has arthritis in her knees, and obviously we have been told that Mittens has got mild arthritis in her hocks, so basically benefits Dawn and Mittens more than it does Danny, but we like to put him on it just for prevention really. But they've all been on it. Well, Mittens has been on it for just over a month now, I would say. And Danny and Dawn have probably been on it 2.5, maybe 3 years. So we now buy the big pot. And then we have the turmeric. So again, all 3 of them are on it. They all just have one little scoop. It has honestly changed Dawn's life. She was really struggling a few years ago with her knees, and we didn't think that she would do another winter, to be honest with you guys. But since putting her on this turmeric, I honestly cannot believe the difference. She's like a completely different pony, and we thought by giving this to Mittens will hopefully help her out. Danny also has it, which I don't know if I showed you guys me putting it in, but he did have it. Again, Danny's is just for prevention. There's no actual reason or problem why Danny needs it. It's just purely for prevention, and we're like, well, the other 2 have it, so he might as well have it. But yeah, honestly, I cannot believe the difference in Dawn, and I'm just really hoping that over time it's going to do the same effect for Mittens. But some horses, not all supplements work for, so it just really depends. But yeah, we're really lucky it worked with Dawn. And then of course guys, you've always got to make sure that you give your horses water to make sure that they've had fluid, and also to stop them from getting choke. We have experienced this in the past, and it is very, very scary. So yeah, I'm very conscious that I don't give them enough water, but I always like to give them enough water. And this is the horses eating their dinner. Very, very happy. And come winter, they'll start having apples and carrots in their food, but we obviously stop through summer because we have enough grass. And then there's little Dawny that likes to slop all our food over her stable door. She's quite gross really when eating, but she's very, very happy. And then Mitzi Moo as well, who again makes a lot of mess, who's very similar to Dawn when eating. The next thing is the hay bucket. So Mittens had her hay soaked since the vet told us that she's too fat. Obviously we're on the weight loss journey with her, so that's her stable all nice and clean. This particular night it was warm, so they stayed in their fly rugs. And then Dan has a full bucket of haylage because these last few years he's like allergic to hay or something. Whenever he eats hay, we've tried so many different hays, he just coughs on it. And then Dawn again is on hay. We don't soak it for her because she doesn't really need it soaked. It's purely just soaked for Mittens because she's a bit fat. We're trying to get all the sugar and goodness out of it. But Dawn's quite a nice size. We're really happy. So yeah, we thought we'd give it to her dry. And that's what she's always used to. Again, her stable's nice and clean and she's very happy. And this is the ponies happy with all of their stable doors open because I leave them open 24/7 during the summer until their winter routine happens where they'll come in at night, but you guys will have another vlog. So that's me locking back up, putting the chain around, and then look how happy they are, honestly. It was such a nice night that evening, and that's me getting in the car, so bye.